I'm a big fan of games that focus on house customization. If you watched any of my videos, you'd know. I mean, that was the basis for this entire channel. Well, because of that, I recently tried The Sims for the first time. And since I had a ton of fun making that video, I searched for a new game to try. Cue Hotel Renovator. Just between the two of us, the actual reason I chose this game was because they had a big sale when I was doing research. Close to 2 months ago. Jumping right into it, I first got to choose my personal assistant. Instinctively I chose a robot to save on labor costs, and I was then thrown into a cutscene of me breaking like 4 different traffic regulations back to back and brutally hitting a curb before arriving at my new hotel. Maybe it's plot relevant later on that I'm a bad driver, or maybe I just let my robot assistant take the wheel. I mean, the driving performance was on par with those robot self-driving taxis. Enough speculation though, I immediately got to work by evicting this chicken. No idea why farm animals live in this abandoned hotel, but I simply solved the problem by throwing her out of the 2nd floor window. The first 2 things I did in this hotel simulator so far was break traffic laws and commit animal cruelty. Interesting game design choice, I have to admit, but now we finally get to renovate the hotel. I'll just skip the tutorial, because the room I had created was honestly really ugly. But it made me learn the basic progress of every renovation in this game. First you start off by tearing everything down. Furniture, wall paneling, ceilings, floors, plumbing. Basically, if you believe that something is salvageable, you are wrong. Then you lay new flooring, paint the walls, lay tiles. Then you place all of the required furniture, which makes sense, mostly. Then you have to decorate. And just like the furniture, there are certain requirements, which is kind of annoying, especially because most of the decorations look complete ass. And then when you have fulfilled every single requirement, you get to finish the hotel room, and you get this little HGTV style before and after shot. Now I could go on about all of the decor that I hate. I mean, don't even get me started on the lamps. But I have a hotel to build, so let's just get started with that. After finishing off the first room, I unlocked a bunch of new furniture and got to name my hotel. I decided on a modest name, the Action Inn. Right after that, a new guest appeared. I got introduced to Vlad, a guest with 2 requests. A room with blackout curtains and no mirrors. I mean, these requirements seem kind of reasonable, honestly. And I mean, just look at his kind eyes. How could I be one to deny such simple requests? Vlad is the first wealthy guest giving my hotel a chance, so I really wanted to meet his expectations, meaning I stepped up my renovation game entirely. The first step was the same, just tearing everything down. But then I went all out to make the room feel premium. Wooden wall paneling, a curated premium color palette. Not really, I just guessed everything. Premium furniture, and this room even had a separate living and bedroom. Truly, only the best for Vlad. Then there was also the bathroom, where I of course covered the walls in marble. Now decorating the bathroom was a little difficult without the ability to add mirrors, but I made it work. So, after all of that work, what did he think of it? What do you mean he didn't like it? Instead of staying in my beautiful, clean, luxurious room made just for him, he dragged me into the basement, made me clear out this chest while he was glitching into my furniture, and then started using it like a coffin. I couldn't be mad at him for long though. Sure, he was eccentric, but he was still my first guest, and I guess I can rent his room out to someone else now. Some people say that the first impression lasts, and I'm inclined to believe them because the last guest that stepped into my lobby decided it would be better to stay in my basement instead of an actual room. So before I continue to renovate the rooms, I should probably do something about my dilapidated lobby. Before I could start with the renovation, however, I got an offer by a band. They wanted to film a music video in my lobby, while I smashed everything to pieces, and well, I was gonna do that anyways, so I might as well enjoy some live music while I'm at it. I had to buy some filming equipment beforehand. Don't know why that's my responsibility, but I got some filming lights and cameras. Turns out that they didn't seem too satisfied with my camera placement, as they just disappeared during filming. I have no clue where they went. After filming I also didn't get them back, so the band must have just stolen them. While they were filming, I was busy smashing all the furniture in absolute silence because I turned off the music in the settings and just forgotten about it, which was just a little awkward. And after I was halfway through demolishing the furniture, the band nicely helped me out by lighting a bomb and blowing up the rest of the lobby. Whoever signed off on that idea does know how to make a music video exciting, I have to admit. Though I do feel like throwing a bomb in the middle of a video production with no precautions in place is not really up to any code. Anyways, they paid me 20 grand, probably to keep my mouth shut, and I started working on the lobby. I didn't feel like coming up with a new color scheme or anything like that, so I just copied the one from Vlad's room. Not very creative, but it looks good. When it came to placing furniture, the game started being a little annoying though. I get the furniture requirements inside of the rooms, but why do we have them in the lobby? Like, yeah, I know, every time I visit a hotel I immediately cancel my booking when I see they only have 5 wall shelves in their lobby. It wouldn't even be that bad if... What was that? Oh my god, the chicken's back. And it brought dice. Well, that's it, I take back everything negative I said about this game. You can play dice with the chicken. After I lost to it, the chicken just disappeared, leaving me to continue work on the lobby. After furnishing, I now had to decorate it, which was every bit as annoying as the furnishing part. Not to repeat myself, but when I check into a hotel and see they only have 10 ugly statues in their lobby... As the final touch, I placed a piano in the lobby and hid a TV behind the counter because I didn't know where else to place it. And that's the lobby finished. I didn't have long to celebrate this achievement, as I had to immediately get the next room ready. This one was for a bachelorette's party, meaning I had to put up party decorations and all of that stuff. That's for later though. Now we first have to make the room presentable. For this room I went for a blue color scheme, as I can't just make every room the same shade of green, even though I really want to. With all of the basic furnishing and decorating done, I had to prepare for the bachelorette's party. For the party to be a success, they wanted a few neon signs, party balloons and a mini fridge, which I haphazardly placed around the room. Don't blame me too much though, as the game didn't make it any easier for me with these hitboxes. Still, I finished the room and the guests had a banger bachelorette's party. I assume. I don't actually remember what happened after I finished the room. As a reward for making it this far, the game gave me 2 new tools, a sledgehammer and a vacuum cleaner, which should make demolition and the cleaning up afterwards a whole lot easier now. What's even more exciting though is that somebody booked their wedding party at the hotel. I've been told before that I was great at parties, intentionally or not. But I mean, this is it. This is our chance to prove ourselves, not only as a fancy hotel, but as an exciting event venue. In order for the party to take place, we first have to get 3 rooms ready. One for the couple, one for friends of the groom, and one for Uncle Joe. The young couple wanted their room to be romantic, so I instinctively painted the entire room pink, along with laying down red flooring and wall paneling. After then realizing that may have been a little too much color, I repainted the walls white. I'm pretty happy with how I managed to furnish this space, but I may have lost the plot a little when I was decorating. The couple wanted lots of plants and candles in the room to make it feel cozy, I guess. And while this is an undeniable risk to fire safety, you also can't deny the immaculate vibes. Vibes are then ruined when I put this huge neon sign dead center above the bed. I figured this would make the room feel more romantic, but instead it made it look like a budget love hotel you would find in, like, Cyberpunk. Nevertheless, the terrible vibes of the room didn't seem to bother the couple too much, meaning I could now move on to Uncle Joe's room. Uncle Joe wanted his room to feel more traditional, so I went for a classic and timeless brown on brown color scheme. While I was admiring my immaculate paint job, I was abruptly called to the lobby. Turns out I should have maybe invested into my elevator instead of a vacuum cleaner, as our single option to go between floors is now jammed. I could choose between attempting to fix it myself or spending money to hire a professional. Now I have no idea how elevators even work, so naturally I tried to do it myself by hitting the elevator with my crowbar a couple of times. In the end, it did work, somehow. Before I could continue to work on Uncle Joe's room though, an even bigger problem appeared. One of the old pipes inside of a room decided to start leaking, meaning I had to run into the basement to shut off the water supply, and then clean the room up, all while a guest was awkwardly standing in the middle of the leak. Now, furnishing the room is starting to get a little repetitive, so I'll just speed run through the next 2. I made Uncle Joe's room feel classy by adding a few oil paintings, along with a place for him to listen to his vinyl records. The final room was the one for the groom's friends. The game said that 3 people would sleep there, but it only required me to place down 1 bed for some reason, so I naturally only placed down 1. This room also required me to place down neon signs, again, and that's all of the rooms finished finally. In order for the wedding to start though, we also have to do something about the hotel's restaurant, as it currently looks rather unsanitary. The restaurant is really big, even with my upgraded tools it took a while to... Oh my god, it's that chicken again. This time it destroyed a whole table inside one of the rooms, and it then challenged me to another dice battle. That I lost. Again. Now, I painted the walls of the restaurant the same color as the lobby for that cohesion, and I then spent an ungodly amount of time placing tables and chairs. I even placed lots of sofas next to each other in order to get a really long bench on one wall. For the decoration, I then just spammed the same vases onto each table, and honestly this is really nice. As the final step, I now have to repair the bar, and the whole restaurant is finished. Before we wrap up everything for the wedding party though, there was one complaint I heard more than anything else, and all of them relate back to room 106. Even before I renovated that room, people complained of strange noises in there. Some even claimed they saw something move in there, possibly even a ghost. Now, I don't really think it's a ghost. Conveniently, my hotel supplier also sells ghost traps, so I just popped one of them down, it caught the ghost for me, and I then sold it for 8 grand in profit. I feel like I'm in the wrong business here. But finally, everything is prepared for the wedding party now. I mean, they seem to be having a good time, standing around. I really hope this party is a success. Finally, after a lot of work, the hotel is running and succeeding. I'll be honest, some parts of this game were really annoying, but besides all of that, it was pretty fun, what can I say? Anyways, that's enough of me yapping for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you around.